Hello, I'm Wendy Wilson, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Realizing Potential. Today I have with me in the studio some representatives from our local Toastmasters, and they are going to be extending invitations for individuals in the community to an open house that's coming up, I believe, on the 28th, but I'll let them tell you the specifics and what they do in terms of their respective roles. So to my immediate right, if you'll introduce yourself and tell us what your role is with Toastmasters here in this area.
My name is Blenda Maddox. I am the Division Director for District 14. I am over Division G out of 8 divisions.
Okay. And sir?
Yes, my name is Ira Thompson. I'm the District 14 Public Relations Manager and a member of the Artesian Toastmaster Club on the Marine Base here in Albany.
Okay, very good. And I'm glad you said the Marine Base, because there are a couple, what's the word that I want to use? Not sections, but there are a few Toastmaster clubs, if you will, in this area. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, great. Tell us a little bit about what Toastmasters, just because I know it's only a few people out there that are not familiar with it. You all are world-renowned, but just let's educate the public and our viewers as to what Toastmasters entails and how you impact lives.
Toastmasters itself is for the average person who's afraid to speak. There are so many of us that has a voice, and we realize that in business, in schools, churches, and any civic organization that you're in, you're always called upon to speak. And you're afraid to speak because you may not be able to say the right things at the right time, or you can't get to the point, and so you drag it out. Toastmaster has a program that allows you to finalize that skill set. We have many programs that will help you get to the point. We have programs that will help you deal with technical programs. We have programs that will help you stand before an audience and speak better. And you are speaking among friends in a constructive place where you feel free. So when you are out in your organization, when you are out speaking, you're not afraid. One of the things that I learned very quickly is if I was to do a speech and I said the wrong word, or maybe I didn't say it right, immediately people will start to criticize or say something. And you will tell me, you got me this time, but you're not going to get me again. And so when it comes time to speak again, you're looking around the room and they say, who should speak? You point your finger and say, get that person and not me. What Toastmaster does is it helps you speak, because we have things such as table topics where you have to speak on the cuff. Have you ever been in a meeting and they say, oh, Wendy, would you mind telling us about this? And you have no idea, this is the first time you heard of it, but you're able to stand up with confidence and speak on that specific thing and be good to go.
Very good, very good. Ms. Maddox, tell us a little bit about your respective role. How long have you been in Toastmasters, and what was the catalyst or the motivation for you to join the organization?
I've been a member of Toastmasters since 2008.
Okay.
And I have held just about every position there is except for treasurer and sergeant at arms.
Okay.
I'm a member of Albany State University Toastmasters. And for me, Toastmasters is a club that promotes personal growth, leadership skills, and self-development. And in that, all of that is in what Toastmaster Ira said. In being a Toastmaster, it will take you across the board in professional communication, how to communicate in every area of life.
Very good. What was your decision? What was that moment where you said, I want to join the organization? Do you recall?
I do recall.
Okay.
My brother actually was living in Albany, and he was a member of a teaching Toastmaster.
Okay.
And I am a person that's always up in front of people. I speak a lot because I am a preacher.
Okay.
And my brother said, you need Toastmasters. He told me that until I joined.
I see. I got you. So we have your brother to thank for your active involvement and you setting the example. Yes. And so you said there's one on the base. Is there one on, I think there was one on Phoebe. Is that on Phoebe's site? No? Am I incorrect?
There was one.
There was one. Okay. Okay. They no longer exist. And then, of course, there's the one still on Albany State's campus. Is that still? Very good. And so on the 28th, you all are having an open house. Tell us what we can expect. Who's invited?
Everybody is invited.
Okay.
We just want people to come out and see what we do. Learn about Toastmasters, where they can join. We have 3 Toastmaster clubs within this city. We have Legacy Builders, and they meet at Albany State University also.
Okay.
And we have Friendly City in Tifton. So we have people from Tifton, in that space between Tifton to Valdosta, from Tifton to Warner Robins. Then we have Warner Robins area. We have Macon, Thomasville, and Valdosta. We have Toastmaster clubs set up all around that division.
Sure.
And in all, we have 17 clubs just within this division.
Okay.
But internationally known, we have over millions.
Wow. And so now the areas, the ones that you mentioned, the Southwest Georgia region and the perimeter, those will be the groups that will be convening on the 28th. So it's like a division conference, or?
It's a division open house.
Gotcha. Okay.
The ultimate goal is for the open house is that many people have heard about Toastmasters.
Yes.
But they don't know about Toastmasters. And so during this open house, the community will be able to come in. We'll have a demo speech where they'll be able to see that. There'll probably be some tabletop. There'll be set up tables. And they'll be able to see from the different areas where they can go. It's always good to have a face. When I came to this building, I knew 3 or 4 people. And so you feel comfortable instead of walking around lost. Well, if you go to an open house and you see people that you know, and you're talking about what Toastmasters can do, because you've heard about it. You said, I've heard about this Toastmaster. Janet Jackson did a song that says, I love it, because I always think about what's in it for me. What's in it for me. When you talk to people about Toastmasters, they want to know what's the benefit of them coming in Toastmasters. Why do I need to go? Well, during this open house, we'll be able to break it down to their level, and the focus is just on them. Okay. To say, here is why we do what we do, and here is how Toastmasters can help. And really, that's the trueness of it, because I joined Toastmasters specifically because I got orders from the Marine Corps to be a recruiter. If you never had to do anything else, to talk to someone about giving 5 to 7 years of their life, and I was like, how am I going to do this? And so on the base in 29 Palms, California, someone says, go to Toastmasters. And I went to the first meeting and I was hooked. Okay. And that was the key, because as a Toastmaster, it made recruiting so much easier. Sure. Because you're talking to people and you learn to talk to people and you learn how to get to the point. Absolutely. And so during this open house, instead of just saying these are the clubs that are in Albany, Georgia, people will be coming from Valdosta. So one, you'll be able to see that this is something not just for the division, but for a district level. And you'll be able to reach out to other people to see how things are being done in different ways. Because the more ways you see things are done, it gets you outside that box to be able to realize there's more than one way to do what we do. Sure.
And that's so critical, whether professional or personally. People make assessments on your ability to effectively communicate. And we decide or make quick assessments in terms of your intellect, and are you authentic in terms of your representation of the organization, a myriad of decisions that we quickly come to just about based upon one's ability to communicate. So I'll give you a little quick homework assignment, and we'll swing back by in the answer that I'm looking for, but you don't have to answer me now. But before we wrap up, I need you both to tell me about a national or international person that was or is a member of Toastmasters that our viewers would know. So think about that.
Okay.
But and you probably already have a few that you can rattle off. But tell us the location and the time of the 28th event.
The location is going to be at Orion Hall.
Okay, here on Albany State's campus.
At 11 a.m.
Okay.
And
Is that
so-
a Saturday?
It's on a Saturday.
Okay, good.
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
No
It's
excuses
no
for
excuses.
those who are at work. Okay.
And we did it at 11 a.m. so they'll be able to have breakfast and then come right here.
Okay.
And then we'll have refreshments for them, so they'll be able to fall right into the lunch.
Good.
And then we'll do right into the. But it's a great room. In Orion Hall is spacious.
Yes, it is.
And we'll have tables set up so they'll be able to feel free. And so it won't be a school event. It won't be a webinar. It'll be just a free-flowing open house to where you can talk to Toastmasters about Toastmasters.
Okay, okay. And if I want to sign up for Toastmasters that day, is there any information that I need to bring? Is there a fee to join? Do you all initiate, Hayes? I'm just teasing about that.
There will be several Toastmaster tables from the division.
Okay.
They will be all around the room. And if you have people in other towns that are there, which there will be, you can always refer them to that person.
Okay.
We will have membership applications, membership cards. We will have brochures on the table, all kind of paperwork that they can take away to read. That they will learn everything about Toastmasters in that room that day. It will be set up kind of like a job fair and a membership drive where every Toastmaster club will have a table.
Okay.
And our 3 top people from Georgia will be there, coming from Atlanta. There will be John Simmons, who is our director over Toastmasters here in Region 8, District 14, and our the person that promotes our educational goals, Greg Palmer. He's there for educational growth.
Okay.
And Brenda Bingham, who is really helping us put this open house together.
Great.
This was her idea to have open houses. She is our club growth director. They all will be here, and everybody will get a feel of the walk of life with speech. Anything that you can say, we promote it in Toastmasters.
Outstanding, outstanding.
The other part of the open house, and she was talking about John Simmons and Greg Palmer and Brenda Benjamin, was the fact that the theme for this year is cruising into success. And so the trio team, as we call them, a lot of times you don't get to meet the president of the company because of where you are in the relationship. So having the trio come down to the open house, it helps not only the Toastmasters, but those that are in the community. If they have specific questions at a higher level, they can talk to the director, and you're getting it straight from them. Also, when you're dealing with cruising into success, it helps you flow as the ship does on a stream. You leave the dock, which means you're already aboard, and you get a chance to ride the waves. Sometimes the waves are choppy, which means you're not sure on what's going on. However, when you get into the meeting itself, and you'll see that these are just regular people, just like you, and they are trying to ensure that they help each other across the river as we're going. And you will be amazed once you see someone who started in Toastmasters and you watch them grow. You will be truly, truly amazed and saying, I had no idea you could speak that way or do those things. And so we're looking forward to that trio team coming down to support us in this project that we're doing.
Great, great, great.
And also, we want to invite all employers, your employees, the companies in town. We want them to send their people. Anybody that has to get up before the public, whether it's interviewing for a job, firing someone, doing a play. We even learn how to do professional storytelling.
Okay.
We learn it all.
Very good.
In Toastmasters. We invite the community out at 11 a.m.
October 28th.
October 28th.
Orion Hall, Albany State University.
Right.
And that's exactly why we're doing this combined event, because the Marine base, most of the supervisors that are on the Marine base, until you've been to your first staff meeting, when you walk into that room and you see all those chairs around that table, and I'm always amazed when the general is sitting there and you have the chief of staff and you have the, the deputy director or the executive director, and they get to you and they say, what do you have to pass? And they say, nothing to pass. You don't want to speak. You just want to slide down in that chair and try to become invisible.
Sure.
But Toastmasters, especially for those that are on the base, we open it up to those that are at the production plant, those that are on the base side, those that are at logistics command. It's open to everyone because everyone has a critical voice.
Indeed.
And we want your voice to be heard.
Very good, very good. Okay, so we look forward to the 28th at 11 o'clock, Oreen Hall, Albany State University. I did not forget the homework assignment before we wrap up. Either of you, I won't put pressure on both, but somebody on a national or international scale that has participated in Toastmasters?
Yes. A few years ago, we had our state conference in Savannah, Georgia. And our guest speaker was Les Brown. He's an international national known Toastmaster.
Sure, indeed
they know
he is.
him international too because he's very famous.
Yes.
But he was our guest speaker. He gave us tips on how to prepare a speech.
Yes.
Yes.
When you're writing your speech and how to give it.
Very good. Very
He calls
good.
himself Mamie Brown Baby Boy.
That would be Les Brown. I know Les Brown. He's going to definitely give you some advice, whether you want it or not. But it's always good advice, and he's a great example in terms of a product of Toastmasters.
And we are having Mark Brown at we're having a meeting for District 14 in Macon, Georgia. It's taking the place of one of our conferences. We used to have 2 conferences. And at that meeting, our guest speaker is Mark Brown. He was the world-renowned Toastmasters speaker. And I'm thinking it was back somewhere between 202 and 208 that he was the world greatest speaker. They choose the world greatest speaker from Toastmasters.
Impressive organization, impressive. I can see why you all are active members. So I'm excited about your desire to invite additional members and to help people to further develop, certainly professionally and even personally as well. So that's October 28th, Oreen Hall, Albany State University, 11 o'clock.
Yes, and there's just 2 real quick things.
Okay.
One, there's 2 tracks that you have in Toastmasters. There's a leadership track and there's a communication track. The leadership track takes you to do things that you really wouldn't get a chance possibly to do in an organization you're with, whereas there's a program called high performance leadership. Can you imagine taking something that you wanted to invent? For example, we had a member that did a program on creating a bank account for a church. Even though they had bankers that were willing to do that, you still need someone to set it up from the ground and the creativity to do that. So they took that on themselves to do a high performance leadership program on how can I get not only the children to contribute, how can I get the parents to be involved in this? And so they wrote it up, and then you have to present that to not only to the club, but imagine presenting that to the pastor of the church. And because it takes a lot of skills to do that. And then the other part of it is that as the track is, she is the division director. Can you imagine now she has 17 clubs spread out over a span of over 300 to 400 miles that she has to be responsible for, and to be responsible for talking to people, because Toastmaster is a voluntary organization. Therefore, when you're dealing with volunteers, you must have the swagger and the skills to be able to talk to them, to get them motivated to do what you need them to do to move forward. And so under the leadership program, that has helped her move forward into not only being a division director, to put her eyes on the next goal of being the director of Toastmasters in Region 4, Region 14.
Very good.
District 14.
All righty. So a great Toastmaster still in the making is what you're saying.
Always.
I love it. I love it. Well, it was a pleasure having both of you on the show today. I'm excited
you.
again about the opportunities that you all are introducing to our community and to join the division and identify which location or which site or which club works best for them. So I know we'll be a success. Thank you for identifying Albany State to host it.
And we look forward to you joining along with us because you have such a voice already.
Well, thank you.
And because of your voice will be heard throughout Toastmasters.
Thank you. Well, I'm always trying to improve. I thank you so much. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Viewers, thank you so much for joining me for this edition of Realizing Potential. I'm Wendy Wilson, and I will see you next time.